You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Is he really special? Because last time he was here, if I remember, y'all had a little tension. A little waffle-colored war was brewing.
You know, that's how waffle colors started.
But no, I know.
That was where it originated.
DJ Drama is here. And yes, they get along. I saw Envy tweets you. You tweet him back. You guys show each other love. So glad that was
how long ago was that interview, though?
Like
you been here since then?
He brought it up right away.
We did Birmingham together.
Yeah.
When y'all went to down.
Oh, okay.
That was the last time.
Got you.
But you know, I guess like somebody I don't know if Power did it or who did it, but the interview like resurfaced. And then it came out and people, you know, I got stopped by the cops yesterday, right?
Yeah.
My tour bus got pulled over on the side of the road. And we was right outside the venue in Saratoga Springs. And we got off the bus. And the first thing the cop said, "Yo, what's up with you and Envy?"
And you know Envy's an informant.
Yeah, Envy got the cops in his pocket.
Envy.
I told him, we and Envy good. That's my guy.
But everybody keeps asking me. I'm like, yo, that was dumb.
Yeah.
Interviews are like herpes. And what we fail to realize is just because it came out 3 years ago, somebody might really have just saw it last week.
Yeah. I mean,
And plus, I always feel like your attention could always jump off again at any point.
Man, stop it, man.
Oh, man.
Me and Drama
Drama didn't tweet this out for me. I'm not messing with him.
Nah,
and
man,
then Drama
stop
can
it,
say
man.
the same thing.
It made for a great interview, though. I can't front.
It was funny.
Now, you kind of reinvented yourself as an executive more so than a mixtape DJ nowadays.
Right.
Was that by design?
I mean, I think it was by design by some sort because, I mean, me and Envy could probably agree to, like, mixtape DJs are kind of somewhat irrelevant in 2016. You know, I mean, it's just
Well,
like...
Envy been irrelevant, but you had a
Watch
nice...
your mouth.
You had a
Watch
nice
your
run.
mouth.
That Gangsta Grills
I
brand
stopped doing
holds
mixtapes.
weight,
Yeah,
though.
he
People
stopped.
still want that DJ Drama Gangsta Grills mixtape.
They do. I mean, and that's a compliment and an ode to, you know, the success of the brand and everything.
It's never been a bigger brand in mixtapes. Own it, Drum.
Okay. I'll take that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take that. I mean, I think that's, you know, I've always said that's arguably been one of the top brands in mixtapes.
It's the number one. Come on.
A lot of artists have come through that.
Yeah.
I will agree. It's done great things for my career. But, you know, at the same time, you know, it's a new generation and, you know, with iTunes and Spotify and just various platforms, like, artists don't necessarily come to a DJ to, you know, make a mixtape. So, you know, I mean, I've been venturing out in various things for years. So, you know, the opportunity to become an executive and sign artists and everything, I just think it's a natural progression.
You can't even tell the difference no more because there ain't no mixing on them. They're not on tapes.
Right.
They just sound like albums.
Right.
There's no DJs on them anymore. Like, what's a mixtape?
I mean, it's a street album now, you know, I mean, and now you can go sell it on iTunes and still do the same thing. I think it's great. I mean, for real, if you look at it, I think we can all agree that mixtapes are probably bigger business than it ever was. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, and the money is humongous and so forth. So
you don't have to go to jail for them anymore.
Nah, not at all.
It's just different issues now with the clearances and everything.
Yeah, I mean,
it can't be like how
definitely you got to
be.
get it clear, you know. But I mean, even producers and various artists understand, you know, look, this is a mixtape. You know, this is, you know, we get paid. People get paid on royalties on the back end and so forth. So you're able to still, you know, kind of put it out at a fast rate.
Now you also own a studio in Atlanta.
I do, Main Street Studios.
Is that a difficult business? Because I know a lot of times studios end up closing down, but you've managed to keep it lucrative.
His steady booming.
Yeah, it's been going good. I mean, it's not an easy business, but I think, you know, seeing that we have our radio station in there, you know, I have a venture with Atlantic through Main Street, so it keeps a lot of traffic in there, and we just created a good vibe. You know, I think people enjoy good vibes and everything. It was something fresh for the city, and then, you know, for me, it was like not just creating just a studio, but, you know, we have a radio room, we have a psych wall, you know, we have a boom boom room. We just got very, you know, just
What's the boom boom room? Is that like
gotta
what
come.
goes down?
So they say, you know, it's for the C room. You know what I'm saying? So MMG utilized it.
If we
when
put
it
the
was
black
there.
light on in there, is going to be all kind of stains
Bunch
on the
of
furniture?
a bunch of different lights.
Damn,
nah.
In the
There's
boom boom room.
There's no furniture in the boom boom room.
Isn't it?
Pony, I'm sure just the pony.
Yeah, it was the furniture. Nah.
Isn't it interesting how things come full circle though? Because I remember it was a point in time when people used to get mad that you didn't rep Philly. Now you got an artist from Philly.
Right. Well,
You
I
know
feel
what I
like
mean?
I always rep Philly. You know, I mean, and then Philly's it's a
But
tough
it felt like
city.
you don't do enough for Philly. You had Atlanta booming.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
Yeah.
It feels great that, you know, I have an artist that is from Philly and everything, and he's doing the things that he's doing.
Lil Uzie Vert.
Yeah, shout out to Lil Uzi. I mean, it makes me proud, like, you know, that we could still, you know, in this day and time, like, we got a kid from Philly, and he's doing his thing.
Is it true he said he'd never come up here? That's what somebody told me.
I doubt that.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
I think they were trying to get him up here one time. We said it was too early or something.
It's too early.
Oh.
No,
Keep
but
it real.
It was too early.
It might have. Yeah, when he was trying to come. It's not too early now, right?
Nah, Uzi Vert.
I thought you meant
want
too
Uzi
early
Vert
in
to
the
do
morning.
Powerhouse.
No.
Like too early on in his career, baby.
No,
I want
His
Uzi
career.
Vert on Powerhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now what
That
about?
would be hard.
How did you find Little Uzi Vert?
Cannon.
Right.
Cannon he had a gig in Atlantic City. He was driving through Philly. He was listening to Power 99, and DJ Diamond Cuts was playing a record from him. He called up Diamond Cuts and was like, "Yo, who's that?" And she was like, "That's this kid named Uzi that I'm working with." Cannon came back to Atlanta, me and Lake, and Cannon had various conversations just about artists and everything, and like you know how it is. We come up on artists so early and everything, and we're like, "Yo," and Cannon was like, "Yo, Lil Uzi." I said, "Run it, let's do it." So that's how the relationship started, and he came to Atlanta, worked on some music. Then we took him to South by Southwest in 2015, and that's around that time was around the same time he did the Carnage record, and a lot of the buzz had started, huh? Oh, 2014. It was 2000. Nah, we met him in 2014. We took him South by in 2015, and then he put his tape out October of last year, Love Is Rage, and he's been booming ever since. I took him on tour last year with me, with Fall Out Boy and Wiz, and he got to perform in front of 15,000 off top. So
how do you know he's ready? Like, and what I mean by that is like you've dealt with a lot of people. Some people have burnt you in the past. How do you know he's a guy that you can invest your time, your energy, your money in?
Just faith and belief, and seeing the talent. You know what I'm saying, and I think for him, we saw it very early. I saw his creativity and what have you, and definitely saw his work ethic, and the rest he just kind of like. I give him props just for having his own vision and really standing by it and believing in it.
I heard he doesn't write though. Somebody sent me some reference tracks. This
guy. Well, you got to break down that story because your name was thrown all over the place. I know you explained it a zillion one time, but you got to explain it one last time here. So, what happened with the reference tracks, Drake and Meek? How did the whole thing happen?
Y'all haven't heard the story like umpteen times?
Yeah,
I don't even care at this point.
Yeah, like it's so many more stories now.
I want to know how your relationships are after that. Are you good with Dream Chasers?
Yes.
You good with OVO?
I haven't talked to Drake.
Envy brought something to my attention last week that I never had paid attention to until I heard it.
That I heard, and I was like, could it be?
It wasn't no could it be. That was a
Possibly.
nice subliminal,
It might have been a nice subliminal.
petty jab.
And Khaled's new record.
I had Drama Girl last summer, not right now.
He said, what did he say?
I had Drama Girl last summer.
Oh, he said
right
last
now.
year I had Drama Girl.
Right, not right now.
Was
that a stab?
I think he was talking about like last year he had drama like
Beef.
No.
Yeah.
Come on.
It
Drama.
has to be.
No way.
Nah.
That was a
You
nice.
know,
He doesn't.
you know Drake and his little
That was a
stab.
nice subliminal.
Well, I mean, I heard it, but he doesn't know my girl, so that wouldn't make sense.
He said summer.
No, he said last year he had
You
Drama
can't say
Girl.
summer.
He did. I had Drama Girl last summer.
Summer is my ex from like 4 years
That's
ago.
what I mean. So he said he's trying to say I had Drama
But
Girl summer.
I've been divorced and separated for her for like 4 years. So
Hey, man,
So it wouldn't matter to him.
last year,
what
that's
she
not
did
my
last
girl.
year.
He doesn't know my girl. Like
I
my
just
girl.
think it felt good. I just think it felt good for him to do it.
I be listening to his music. My girl be telling me to turn it off. Like she's tired of it. So you know what I'm
See,
saying?
that's just pettiness.
That's
See,
like it.
Nah,
Everybody
so
say
it can't be.
Right,
I never. When I heard that line, I was like, nah.
You kind
'cause-
of thought of it for a second too. I said, damn.
But
that
I'm just
sounded-
thinking last year he had Drama Girl. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, well, you don't know. He's never met my girl, so he can't be talking about me. That's just.
Did you ask her? Like,
Yeah, you
do
might need
really
to ask.
Nah, I
It
don't
is
have to
Drake
ask.
we talking about.
Nah.
You
Stop
sure
it.
you didn't want to ask?
Come
Like,
on. You know when you meet a girl, you run that. You did
run
that.
that.
Yeah,
You
you
gotta
gotta ask
listen
three.
early.
You got two.
Come on.
Definitely Drake and Trey Songz. You need to know off the
Those two right there.
off the
Those
bat.
two right there.
You need to know.
Drake and
You
Drake.
gotta know Drake and Trey
And then
Songz.
it made or a low
That-
one too. Made or low.
so
That's-
you really have to run it? You ran yours too?
What
you
you
ran
mean?
your credit check?
I've done.
also?
I do that all the time.
You tell everybody your.
Respectfully, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if it's going to get serious,
How do you do that though? You just ask people you know.
what you mean?
Like, yo, you know her?
No.
What you mean?
No. I go to the source.
But what if she says, "Well, I think the past is in the past. Why should we bring that up?"
Thankfully, that didn't happen. So
Okay.
yeah.
Are you leery of people that she says is her favorite artist?
Shut up.
Who you talking about, my girl?
Yeah, she rides.
Nah, not at all.
He's not worried about his
I'm in a great place, man. I got a great girl. I don't have to worry about those things anymore.
He's not worried about it.
Yeah, those days are over.
Weren't you supposed to do another dedication with Wayne?
We talked about it, and it's like, every time we mention it, the world kind of goes into a frenzy somewhat. But I think it's gonna happen. You know, I got an intro on my album with Wayne that's like vintage Wayne that people are really excited about. So, I think at some point we're gonna do it. Normally we wind up doing dedications after he does the Carters. So I think Carter 5 might come, and then we'll do dedication 6.
Getting back with Ken has been prosperous for you too, right?
It's been great.
Yeah,
it's been great. Myself, Cannon, since we kind of came in this thing together. So to be back, and it's been like 20 years, with friendships and working together and everything. So from signing Uzi and other artists, we got this artist named LaQuinn and Scheme, who were both on the Wishing record with me, and Cannon's like the he's like the wizard. He's like the musical wizard, and I'm like the mouthpiece and the engine.
It's got to be hard to sign kids nowadays because they don't need it.
It was never easy though.
Really?
Nah, I don't think so. Or else I would have had everybody signed.
Yeah.
Everybody I've done tapes with.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just they don't need it. But I still think that people still appreciate the guidance and the wisdom and the outlets and the things that we bring to the table.
Like, how do you sign a 21 Savage when he's already making 15 to 20 a show?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but everybody goes through that stage at some point, and then they, you just got to figure out if you want to stay on that or you at some point want a machine to, come in.
You think Chance the Rapper needs a machine?
No. Chance the Rapper was on Saturday Night Live, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I think he's doing great. His merch is doing great. His shows is doing great.
But it's funny.
I think he's doing great.
It's funny.
And I think that's a great lane if you want to choose that lane and you can do it.
You talk to other label execs, they be like, no, he needs it because he don't get radio play. I'm like, who needs radio play?
Yeah, radio play is not.
But it just puts you in a position where if you decided you wanted to do something, you make your own terms. People always look at it like, oh, you signed to a label, you sold out. But some people make their own terms when they
Absolutely.
If you put yourself in that powerful of a position.
Absolutely.
If you decide to do a deal, now you can say, I want this X amount, this amount, and you can get some phenomenal, unheard of
most definitely
situation.
And like Angela said, it depends on when you do your deal. At what point do you make that decision?
For marketing and promotion, basically, for a label, if he would need it.
Yeah.
Are there other artists that you were trying to sign that you missed out on? Like,
it's a couple.
Mm-hmm.
I almost signed Migos.
Ooh.
Yeah, I had brought them to New York for the first time.
That would have been a big one.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. Shout out to those guys though.
What happened? How'd you miss out? Not enough money?
The money wasn't coming out of my pocket though. So the deal
and Atlantic didn't believe.
No, it wasn't even with Atlantic. This was even before I was with Atlantic.
Okay.
It's been a couple other artists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what happened in Camden? Because Camden, y'all were on. You
Oh,
on tour,
yeah.
and I heard the rail fell.
Yeah, the
in.
rail broke.
Yeah, were you
Yeah, I was there. I actually, because I had all my family come up. My mom, my dad, my sister was there. My cousins was there. So there's a part in the show where they go out into the lawn, and there's it's kind of like a surprise. So they stand on this platform and everything. But I guess the way Camden was set up, where the platform was, there was like a space, and then there was a railing where all the people were, and I guess everybody was kind of coming forward, pushing down on the railing, and the railing broke, and everybody kind of fell off the railing. So, I mean, at the time we were hearing devastating stories, and my prayers and well wishes to everybody that got injured, but thankfully what happened wasn't as bad as what we were hearing at the time.
What we saw, it looked crazy.
How far was the fall?
It was
5 to 6,
Yeah.
5, 7 feet.
Yeah.
Nobody
I
died,
didn't
right?
see it actually when it happened. I watched on the screen. I watched when they kind of ran off the stage. So it definitely didn't look cozy.
Yeah, they
I
looked
was
good.
having a conversation with somebody, and they was like, Wiz and Snoop should have helped. I'm like, what the hell are Wiz and Snoop supposed to do?
I saw somebody say that. Yeah.
What are they supposed to do?
Now they got their security there. And
They're not the ones that set up the barricade, and
Yeah. It was.
it probably would have made it even worse if they would have went over there.
It might have been. Hopefully everybody's all right though.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that part of the show didn't happen last night.
So what's your relationship like with Quentin Miller now? Because he was your guy.
He's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still?
I got a record with him on the album called it's called Audible.
You know he's not an artist though.
What you mean?
Like as far as being out
Listen
in
to the
front of
song.
the camera. Now he can rap, but it's this. It's certain other qualities that people have to really be a great artist.
Mind you, he said this about Kendrick Lamar.
I never
Oh,
said
he
that
said
about
that?
Kendrick. I didn't say
Definitely
that
said
about
Kendrick
Kendrick.
Lamar wasn't a star.
I said Kendrick don't look like a star, which he still doesn't,
Yes,
by the
he's
way.
a star.
What does
man,
a star look
superstar.
like these days, though?
That's true, too.
Yeah, I think
That's true.
There's no
but they
real
don't.
look.
All of those guys still have a quality, though. You know that. They all have a certain je ne sais quoi.
Lil Uzi looks like a star, right?
Absolutely, without
cool.
question.
Okay.
Like it's a certain thing. I don't think Quentin has that quite yet.
You should have him
But
up
that's
here.
something anybody could develop if they wanted
You don't
to.
wanna have him up
Anybody.
here?
He's got to be up here for more than just being.
I told him he should come up here.
But he gotta
And
be
he did another interview, and I was like, you could have went to the Breakfast Club for all that.
But you don't want to just be up here for being somebody's alleged ghostwriter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you want to establish some things on your own first, because then the whole interview is about a whole other person.
Right. Makes sense.
How come Vert wasn't on your first single? I was curious about that.
Because it didn't work out that way.
Right.
You know.
Sometimes you don't know what your first single is going to be.
Yeah, I had records with him and so forth, and you know this was the best record that I wanted to go with first.
And
then you know it's like the Lil Uzi situation is set up where it's not a DJ Drama and Lil Uzi Vert. Lil Uzi Vert's
He stands on his own.
He's in a lane of his own. You know, I didn't want to necessarily set it up where it was like Lil Uzi is only known by standing next to DJ Drama, or a Drama single has Lil Uzi on it. Like, you know, he's his own entity. You know, he has his own fan base. There's people that, a lot of his fans that don't even know that I'm involved, that don't even know he signed a Generation Now, me and Cannon per se. So, you know, that's kind of how we went. We went into it organically on that. You know what I mean?
Do you have to personally like an artist to sign them nowadays?
Personally like their music?
Yeah.
Yes. I do.
Or else, how do you believe in it and push
Definitely.
it to
But
other
there's a lot of
people?
things that these kids are into that we may not be into just because we're older.
But liking it and riding to it 24/7 or listening to it, that's two totally different things.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So liking it and understanding it and respecting it for what it does for a certain fan base or a certain audience, I have an understanding of. So
absolutely,
it might not be, you know what I ride, like, I don't know, I don't want to, like, a old Hove album per se, like, you know, the one thing, even watching Uzi, like, you know, the kids and the youth love him, like,
absolutely.
A lot of people in the industry got put on the Uzi because of their kids, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think, you know, in the business that we're in, you have to respect that. Like, you got to respect that hip hop is a young man's game in a lot of ways, and everything that I may have came up on or something that I might not off top understand per se doesn't mean that, you know, it's not something that I don't see for where it's going or what it is.
You think radio's out of touch?
Do I think radio's out of touch? I don't think radio's out of touch. I think radio is doing its job. I think, you know, being in the radio business, understandable and knowing how little time people actually listen to the radio. So when people turn on the radio, there's certain songs that unfortunately, even though it's the same 10 songs, that people are used to hearing, and when they do the research, this is the numbers that are coming back to it.
You want to hear your favorite song when you turn the radio on?
Yeah, pretty much, and you know that may be, you know, Rihanna Needed Me, you know, what I'm
Bryson Tiller,
or Bryson Tiller, you know, and they're only
exchange.
I don't know what the ratio is, but how long do people really listen to the radio at one point in time? Like,
I don't know, but you know, when
but then say that is like, you have all these other outlets now, so to have a SoundCloud and to have iTunes Music and to have the Dat Piff app and everything, you know, everybody, us, the kids, anybody, there's so many ways that you can get your music now. And, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the great, you know, outlets. That's the great part about it. So it's not, radio's still important. Everybody listens to The Breakfast Club. Everybody watches The Breakfast Club. You guys are syndicated, you know, all across the country. So clearly it's relevant on that aspect. Envy does his mix. He plays new records. They get on. So
well, listen to what you just said. Envy plays new records. Like when you read studies that say 12 to 18-year-olds aren't listening to the radio like they used to, or 18 to 24-year-olds aren't like they used to, because like we're not playing anything that reflects what they're actually listening to in their free time.
Right, but they're growing up in a day where they have other. They know
they have so many other.
They have so many ways to listen to music. Yeah, we didn't have that, so they're not. They don't. Their minds aren't even programmed to just turn on the radio and listen to the radio and see what it is.
It used to be radio was the only place you really heard.
That's it. You know, they're on social media every day, hearing various things and going to different outlets to hear it. So.
I just feel like if we give them more what they into,
I mean, I would love that.
Back.
That would be great.
Chance the Rapper, Uzi.
That would be dope.
Guys like that.
Y'all playing Lil Uzi, right?
In the mix.
Yeah, in the mix.
Right.
The mix is good.
Now, Drama, you have had such a long history, and so many crazy things have happened. You think you would ever document all of that?
Yeah, actually, I thought about that. You know, it's going on 10 years next year, where we got raided, the big mixtape raid. So
Did you get your stuff back? All them cars and all that? Did you get?
we got a couple things back. So they kept some things, and then we got some things back.
Why you want to celebrate the raid?
No, I'm not celebrating, but it's been
It's
been
a turning
10 years.
point.
Why not celebrate Trap or Die?
Nah, that was I want to celebrate
Down with the
everything.
king.
I want to celebrate everything.
Okay.
But I think it's time for us to tell our story. That's
Gotcha.
what I was getting at, you know.
How would you do that?
I don't know yet. I'm thinking about it. You know, I talked to Angie about writing a book. We've been talking to a couple people about maybe doing a documentary at some point. So I haven't figured it out. I still think it's a little early. Like we still got some things
there's
to
a lot
do.
of legendary mixtapes that you did, though. That raid was very monumental.
Right.
Now that raid would be
When
big.
that happened, because
that
that
was
was
a turning
that was a
point.
big turning point
not
for the
too
whole
early.
industry
It's not too early.
Nah.
as far as mixtapes. Yeah.
no, that was a turning point for mixtapes
It
and
was.
mixtape DJs.
And then you went through a lot of different. You were there when different artists were beefing with each other, and you
Yeah.
were working with both sides.
Yeah.
So that was
could-
some very touchy situations. But
Yeah.
you were kind of in the midst of all that.
Yeah.
There was even some FDJ dramas thrown around
Yeah, the gift and the curse of the name.
back then.
DJ
You could write a
Drama.
book called Gangsta Grills.
You think so?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, you were there for some of the rise of some down south superstars.
Definitely.
You were
Like
part of
T.I.
it.
became a superstar.
Right.
Jeezy became a superstar.
Nah, I mean, I definitely want to tell the story. I definitely want to tell it. I just got to figure out the way to tell it.
All right.
How did you still mess with record labels? Because it felt like they turned their back on you when you got raided. You know what I mean? Because they wanted you to put. The
You know,
music
I think they was put in an awkward position because, you know, that's like, you know, that's that fine line that they were walking a lot of times where they were supporting us as mixtape DJs, but then there was the legal department that was, you know, trying to cross their I's and dot the T's and all
And
that.
make some
flashy.
money because they weren't making no money really off of mixtapes.
Nah,
way.
I mean they were making money because their artists were able to go on and make platinum albums
promotion.
and
Right,
do
it is.
shows and everything.
But at the
so.
same time, they're like enough mixtapes, put out an album.
Yeah.
sometimes.
So I mean, I never took it. I don't take a lot of things personal.
Because you weren't stealing the music. I mean,
Nah, not at all. I was doing
it.
them, you know, directly with them. So I don't know. I don't hold grudges to take things personal, like when it comes to the music business. Because it's
that
just that
check.
it's business. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't know if I ever felt like they turned their backs on me. I mean, they didn't come wave the DJ Drama flag, but so what? That wasn't their responsibility. That was my responsibility to stand up strong and, you know, wave the flag and keep it moving and, you know, still be here.
No label stood up for you?
I mean, Atlantic Records put my album out, and you know, we made some money together.
Yeah.
But it's not like anybody came up to the forefront and was like, "Hey,
Leave him alone.
Me-
We
Yeah.
gave them these records.
Yeah,
We
nobody-
let them
no,
use
no,
our
no.
artists.
What about artists? Did any artists?
Pimp C, Jeezy, Tip, yeah, they definitely came to my side."
Is that when you started looking for the hustles?
Around that time, I was DJing for Tip at the time. You know, mixtapes was going. The other hustle, I think it just started happening naturally. You know, I mean, like, I hadn't started on Main Streets, the studio, for years later, till the opportunity kind of presented itself to build that. You know, I've been doing a lot of urban imaging for various radio stations, iHeart, shout out to iHeart. And now all those things the opportunities presented itself, and you know, I fell into them. Me doing records, you know, I did two albums at Atlantic, and then I put a record out called Oh My, and I went over to E1, and I did 2 albums over at E1. I did the First Quality Street, well, 3 albums now over at E1, and while I was having success with my records, the opportunity presented itself to, you know, go into A&R and over at Atlantic. So, yeah, it just kind of happened naturally.
Personality-wise, which of the artists that you work with do you think you gel with the best?
Probably I would definitely say Jeezy and Wayne. Yeah, and Gucci. Jeezy, Wayne, Gucci.
That's interesting because you and Jeezy had a little slight issue at one point.
Yeah, that's old too.
Right.
Yeah,
Isn't growth good?
great. Yeah, Jeezy's one of my closest friends in the game.
Dope.
How's Gucci? Have you seen Gucci since he?
I haven't seen him. I talked to him.
You follow him on Snapchat.
Yeah, I follow him on Snapchat. Yeah, and he's doing good though. He's in a good space.
Looks like he's in a good
He's
space.
great. Yeah,
You think Atlanta's in a good space?
a great space. I
Great
think
space.
Atlanta's always been in a good space.
Yeah.
I think that dominantly Atlanta's had one of the strongest runs in hip hop.
I was arguing with somebody
Like,
this the other day.
I mean,
man.
we going on like 24, 25 years? Like for real, like when can you name a moment in the last dub at least where Atlanta hasn't been dominant, like since Outkast?
Has it trumped 90s New York run, 90s West Coast run?
Has it trumped? I will argue that Atlanta's run has been the longest run in hip hop history.
It's been longer. Now you can argue about, I guess, quality.
There's been some things that Atlanta's messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
They put out some trash, but I think
ringtone
everybody-
rap is
yeah.
definitely Atlanta's fault.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There's definitely been some quality control that has not been in order. But I mean, if we take the success stories, if we take the Outkast and the Ludacris's and the T.I.'s and the Jeezys and the Gucci's and the Futures and the Chains and the Thugs, and you know, it's in a good place.
It's definitely had the longest run
Would you argue that?
of everything. 90s hip hop, New York, even 90s West Coast hip hop.
New York,
everybody's-
you gotta start New York from 80s though.
Okay.
You gotta start New York from 80s.
80 what? 88 to 94?
Nah, because you got to go back to Run DMC.
You gotta go back to Run.
Yeah, so that's like
That's
86,
the
85.
80s, and we had the 90s.
Yeah.
2000s,
New York's
it was a split between New York and Atlanta.
50 was like the last big New York splash. Well, I guess
No.
Nicki.
Nah,
You
not
got
at all.
Minaj,
Nicki-
you got
Nicki.
French Montana.
Yeah.
Well,
You
Nicki,
got Fabulous.
Atlanta has to take some claim for Nicki
That
too,
is a
though.
fact. And French. Atlanta got to take claim for French,
we
too.
we got to take a little bit of that.
Because
You know
that's when
what
the
I'm saying?
sound shifted. The sound shifted.
Definitely, Nicki was in Atlanta doing her thing. I mean, she reps Queens like I rep Philly.
And French would say he had to go to Atlanta.
He
to
was
get
he
high.
was there. He
New
was
York's
there.
still a little longer.
Yeah,
South
yeah.
need 5 more strong years.
Now, if you had to smoke after somebody, Wiz or Snoop,
Smoke after somebody?
which
What you mean?
person? Who would you smoke with if you had to pick?
Oh, I can't pick that. That's two of my favorite smokers in the world. That's like everybody's dream to smoke with either one of them. You know, for me, I guess probably seeing that I like grew up and came up on Snoop and being able to, you know, have that as the homie, that's probably crazy exciting.
Snoop is the only one that's ever smoked in here.
Really?
Yeah, he's the only
He
one.
had a
that's-
vape, though.
Yeah,
We were like,
he's the only one that smoked.
all right, I'm not
And
going to
nobody
say
wanted to tell him
nothing.
he couldn't. He just let him go.
Yeah, there's certain people you just don't tell no to. I do that at my studio too. I'd argue that Snoop's like the most known rapper in the world. Like there's nowhere that Snoop can't go and
Right.
know this.
Snoop and Jay here. Those two.
Snoop,
Yeah.
I think Snoop.
Over Jay?
Snoop is definitely.
Over Jay?
Like
Absolutely.
grandmoms and
We're
like
talking about worldwide.
like Zimbabwe.
you
man.
ever see his husband?
Absolutely. Yes, man.
Snoop is probably
Snoop.
the most known rapper
Yeah,
in the
over
world.
Jay.
I would think so.
I don't know.
I would think so.
Owner of the Nets?
Yes.
That's Snoop Dogg.
I don't know.
I think
Yeah.
I think 50 too. I think Snoop and 50. I think grandmas know Snoop and
Yeah.
50.
Grandmas of all ethnicities from all walks of life.
Because
What
they
about,
kind of like
what about
caricatures.
Eminem?
Big. He's up there, but I still think Snoop is
Yeah,
bigger.
Snoop is bigger than him.
Yeah.
Like old white people know Snoop.
Because M
Grandmas.
is like a
Oh, white people
rapper.
know Jay?
Snoop is like
No, it's
A
a video. Of an
personality.
old
he's like a
white woman on the
brand.
train
Snoop is
not
really
knowing
like
who
a
Jay
brand.
was.
Like you know
You forgot about that video?
Right.
what?
In
Remember
New
that
York,
video
too.
when Jay was on the train in New York? The old white woman had no idea who Jay was. What's your name again? He said Sean.
I remember that.
Yeah.
He was going to the Barclays.
He's going to
Center.
Barclays.
Yeah.
Well,
We good? We ain't got no drama with drama today? We all
Yeah,
right?
this is-
I don't know. That's on. We're looking at you.
I think
Why
that's
you
pretty,
looking at me?
I just want to make sure that you talk this
pretty
interview.
much it. He,
Man, people gonna watch this interview like, man, that was boring.
That was boring. They didn't beat.
that's your fault, drama.
Why? Why is it my fault? I'm in a great
I'm not
space.
gonna lie, y'all did have another little bump in the road.
What was the
after that.
bump?
Ooh, me and Envy?
Yeah.
No, we did.
What?
I remember.
What are you
remember
talking
when Envy
about?
was mad about the Revolt DJ?
I was mad at every DJ there.
Oh yeah, I
we
don't think
spoke.
I don't think that was a personal thing.
Yeah, that
and that
was-
He was
wasn't.
mad
That didn't
Drama
even
had
have
the
me.
first one?
That ain't have nothing to do with
Envy
me and
had
Envy.
the first one.
No, it was dope.
It had nothing to do with drama.
It ain't had nothing to do. Yeah, we talked about that. That ain't had nothing to do with me.
We spoke about
Me
it.
Why
and me
light-skinned
and
niggas
Envy,
so
me and Envy
petty?
agreed on
You
what
guys
the
are
issue was.
so petty.
We spoke though.
You ever got
It's
mad?
not a
Have you ever
light-skinned
been mad at
thing.
Envy for anything he's done? Because he's always mad at you.
Nah, I never been mad at Envy.
But you know what? Not for nothing, right? When his special came out, I said I got to make sure I tweet this out because I said if I don't tweet this out,
You look like you hating.
I'm looking like I'm hating. So I was
Respect
like,
the DJ,
I called
man.
Prez and said, let me know the date, please.
Oh no, there was one time Envy took a shot at me.
What happened? What happened?
Y'all was doing a TV show, and
That was a long time ago. Yeah.
No, what'd he do? What'd he
He
do?
called me about that. Yeah, we
it's
spoke about
nothing.
that.
It was-
I do wonder why you haven't reached out to Drake though.
What you mean?
Just to see if y'all good.
For what?
You don't think so?
What you mean? Reach out to do what? I mean, if it ain't about no music, it ain't nothing to talk about.
But I mean, even just to say, yo, I ain't had nothing to do with
I've
that.
talked to Drake's peoples.
Oh, okay.
I've
okay.
talked Drake. Me and Drake knows everything that happened, everything that went down from all sides.
They swear you put out those reference vocals.
I didn't put the reference tracks out.
They swear.
Who's they?
Everybody.
The one day that Khaled
is
talked about
that?
on Snapchat.
Nah, yeah,
that
I
one
don't.
person.
I don't know who they are. They're looking at the wrong person. I done said this numerous times and explained it. I didn't do that.
So if some people are mad, you just
Obviously,
like, F
those reference tracks were out there. Why they were out there, how they were out there, I mean, why don't y'all everybody go to the source?
Mm-hmm.
Who was the source though?
DJ Drama's not the source.
You almost made it out of here, Drama.
Those are like hip hop mysteries.
He was like, that's it?
And it's a lot of them, right? You know a lot of secrets in this game, don't you? You know a lot of secrets in this game, don't you?
Absolutely.
And that's how they're going to stay. That's how they stay to me.
All right.
You know?
There we go.
True indeed.
All
It's not going to be in a documentary or nothing, huh?
I mean, 20 years from now, if the story needs to be told, that's different. You know what I'm saying?
We'll be watching.
We'll be watching.
I like Drake records, though.
I like Drake's rap records.
Yeah, I like Drake records.
A couple of the singing ones I've grown to appreciate.
Just a couple? Drake's dope.
Couple.
He makes good music. But outside of that, I ain't got nothing to talk about.
All right.
Why are y'all waffle colored Negroes so petty? Jesus Christ!
Did you
Lord have mercy.
would you be able to DM him, or are you blocked? Because Envy's
Yo,
blocked.
Shout to Lake. He just said my man Quinn's mixtape is out right now.
Quentin Miller got a mixtape?
No, Lil Quinn.
Oh, look. He's
on his record.
What's up?
He got a record called Wishing that's mine. He's
Okay.
on there. Yeah, it's dope. You should check it out.
All right.
Yeah.
Light pigmented pettiness, ladies and
There
gentlemen.
you go. DJ Drama, it's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
If superior hair extensions, clip-ins, and tape-ins are an absolute must, you have to get the #1 rated hair extensions in the world. Her Imports is 100% certified real virgin human hair and trusted by celebrity stylists worldwide. Celebrities swear by our products, and now you can too. We now offer financing for our products at herimports.com for a limited time, or go into one of our convenient locations in your city. We offer 100% Indian temple bundles that will have you looking flawless for years. Visit us online right now at herimports.com.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in.